So I'm gonna share something with you that really was the turning point for me during my healing and my recovery after narcissistic abuse and a codependent relationship and a really toxic relationship. And I remember being at one of my lowest points, and it was after a discard and a breakup stage where I was doing a lot of ruminating on the next and having a lot of emotions coming up, right? And a lot of these emotions were just very unpleasant. I mean, they were just draining me, right? And I had all this anxiety, this depression, and all of these just really, really sad emotions and feelings coming up, right? And this was going on for a while, and it sucked. It sucked, right? It was just like so draining on me. And during that rumination phase, there's often times where you're oscillating between those low periods in your mind and some high periods. And what I mean by that is we often will go back to positive experiences or positive times that we had or that we have in our memory banks based around the person, right? Your ex-partner, whatever, right? So we can go back in our minds to those experiences, and I was doing that, and I think it was a memory of us at the beach, right? And I remember having my eyes closed and just experiencing that moment, and I can do it right now. And I remember experiencing that moment and the feelings that that I felt during that moment that happened way before, right? Way in the past. And I'm like feeling that, and to myself, all of a sudden something clicked for me in a huge way that changed everything for me in the recovery and the healing and just my total outlook on life. And what happened was I realized at that moment that I was the source of that energy, those feelings, the emotions, that pleasantness, and those happy feelings and everything that I was experiencing by going back to that moment was all based on me. I realized that she wasn't there with me right then and in the now. She wasn't with me. But yet, I could still bring back those feelings. And that's when it clicked for me that those feelings were not dependent upon her and never were and aren't. And all of those emotions, all of those feelings that I had in that moment were never dependent on her or the circumstances. It was always me. It was always her reflecting back myself. And once that clicked for me and I had this understanding of that, then I started to play with that and experiment with myself on what other kinds of emotions and feelings and experiences I could generate by bringing up these old flashbacks of different things and moments that I had in my memory bank, right? And then by doing this, I was able to realize that it's all something that I have total control over. And that changed everything for me and still does to this day, because at any moment I can experience whatever feeling I want, whatever emotion I want to bring up, whether it be joy or laughter or whatever, I have the ability to bring that up. And then knowing for a fact that it's not dependent on her, that she is not the source of my satisfaction, of my joy, of my peace, of any of those emotions that I want to experience, changed everything for me. Because for some reason, for the longest time, I connected those types of emotions and pleasant experiences to her or to other people in my life, instead of realizing that was me the whole time. And it is you. It's no one else. And I call this the greatest gift, because once you understand this and you play with this concept, you're really taking back control of your life, and you're taking back control of how you experience life. And it's amazing how everything changes when you look at life through this new lens of knowledge. And it just makes everything so much easier. And you don't have to look externally anymore for all of these things that you want in your life, because you realize that it's within you. And this is such a big deal for me, and I think it's the biggest and most monumental, I guess, thing you can do or realize to bring it all together and change everything for yourself. And I hope that this knowledge, this understanding can help you like it helped me. And the best way to really play with this is to do a meditation exercise of sorts, where you're bringing back those old memories, and you're feeling those emotions, and you're feeling them come up, and then you realize that person isn't there. Those people aren't there, right? And it also makes you understand that emotions, right, feelings, are a lot more superficial than we realize, because that we can play with them so easily. We can change that energy and that emotion and the chemicals that our body and our brains produce based on our thoughts, right? Based on the images we bring up in our minds. So this is such a liberating thing to realize and to play with. And I really hope that it helps you as much as it's helped me. I love you guys. I hope that you have an amazing day. You're living in the now, and you are becoming the person that you are meant to be.